We will be asking 3 questions of all 3 candidates. What is the most important function or duty of the County Commissioner, Precinct 2?
I believe it is long-range planning. We are a rapidly growing county, as you know, and so we have to anticipate things in the future. This very institution that we are in right now is, I was the chairman of the steering committee to create Collin College back in the early 80s. I don't think I'll ever have a more distinguished accomplishment in this institution here. The outdoor education camp for children, there are 22,000 children now that are going through that facility each and every year. Pizza Hut Park in Frisco, I think people are not only looking for low taxes, they're looking for quality of life. And I think you have to think about those things as well.
Okay, thank you. What are your transportation priorities for Collin County?
Well, the outer loop is the big issue, big dollar issue right now. Give or take a few $100 million, it's a $4 billion project. And it's not going to be an easy project to complete. It's going to be very costly. We've got to have help from the state to accomplish that facility. So that's the biggie right there.
Okay. One citizen wants to know, what are your Republican credentials, and have you ever voted Democrat?
I have never voted Democrat nor Libertarian, either one. And what would you say to that?
What are your Republican credentials?
My Republican credentials are, I have been, ever since I've been in office, which is almost 30 years now, I have attended virtually every precinct, senatorial, state, and I've even gone to the national convention. So I'm a member of all the Republican clubs in Collin County. If I hadn't paid my dues, let me know. I'm also endorsed by about 25 to 30 mayors and council members in my district. So I think that says a lot as well.
Last question. We are asking again, you all, since this will be the first time we publicly asked this, will you support the eventual Republican nominee selected by the citizens of your precinct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Ms. Williams, what do you think is the most important function or duty of the County Commissioner's Office, Precinct 2?
Well, the primary function, in my mind, is fiduciary in nature. That means we collect your taxes and we make decisions on how those taxes are spent. And so I think it's critical that whoever is in the seat in Precinct 2, number one, be concerned about their constituents in Precinct 2 and how they're using their tax dollars. And number two, that you're looking at the needs of the county as a whole in connection with the amount of tax dollars that you have, not necessarily what you can get, but what is appropriate. And I think that the taxation is, in fact, the most critical aspect of the job.
Okay. What are your transportation priorities for Collin County?
I would like to see us work more diligently with our representatives in Austin and to do as much lobbying as we can to work with within the region to halt the diversion of gasoline taxes, which would help relieve the pressure that we're experiencing on funding. That would be one of the primary things that I'd like to see us work for.
Ask you also, if you're not selected by the citizens of Precinct 2 as the Republican nominee for the precinct, will you support the ultimate nominee as chosen by the citizens?
I will.
Okay. What are your Republican credentials, and what have you done for the Collin County Republican Party?
Ronald Reagan was the first president I ever voted for. I met my husband at the Young Republicans, so that I'm Young Republicans are very near and dear to my heart. I'd love to support them. It worked out very well for me. I have worked on Pete Sessions' campaign with fundraising, block walking, anything that he needed to unseat when he was working to unseat Martin Frost. And I spent, particularly in Collin County, the time that I spent on the Plano City Council, albeit a nonpartisan race, I can assure you that I govern in a very Republican and conservative manner.
Thank you. Mr. Bordsberger, what do you think is the most important function or duty of the County Commissioner Precinct 2?
Well, it would have to be keeping taxes low while at the same time providing a transportation infrastructure to allow folks to move easily from one part of the county to the other. And we also need to have some more job creation there so that so many people aren't driving so far every day to get to work.
Okay. I ask you as well as I have your opponents, if you're not selected by the citizens of Precinct 2 to be the ultimate nominee, will you support the candidate that is chosen?
Yes, I will. You know, even a bad Republican is better than a good Democrat.
For the most part.
It's almost pandering. Justin.
I would compliment him, Bill.
No, I didn't. Have you ever voted Democrat?
No.
Okay.
I started voting Republican from the time I was 21 years old, and I worked on Republican campaigns since I've been 18 years old.
Okay. Last question. What are your transportation priorities for Collin County?
I believe that Precinct 2 has been overlooked when it comes to transportation dollars. If you've driven around much in that part of the county, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We need to beef up the transportation infrastructure in southeastern Collin County.
Okay, thank you.